Hello and welcome to number 4 of our Growth Insight series, where our team tests the best tools and share the latest resources just for you. And as always, we keep the best for last. Let's kick off with some pure evil made in China black hat. Ever heard of click farms? Well, this is exactly what they look like. Launching your app on the Google Play Store or on the iTunes Store? Don't use this, but they do exist. Okay, now let's get serious with some actual growth tools. Camille from Condor showed us Lumen 5, and we've been obsessing over it ever since. Want to get into video but don't have the resources? Lumen 5 lets you transform blog posts and articles into beautiful videos within seconds. Literally, I made my first one in like 60 seconds. Now, as always, you can find all of the links to everything I describe in the description below. Now, coming up with engaging content is one thing, but as we all know, distribution is key. Sujan Patel recommended this tool called Quuu Promote. It's a tool that lets you promote your content to influencers. So basically, influencers sign up, they connect their buffers to Quuu, and they get daily suggestions for their social media. It's a win-win both for the promoters and people creating content. If you're betting on video as part of your content strategy, you'll probably absolutely love this tool. It's called TubeBuddy, and it's a free Chrome extension that covers an overabundance of features to make your YouTube life a piece of cake. SEO, thumbnail, social monitoring, keyword rank monitoring, TubeBuddy offers it all for free to make you even more data-driven in your YouTube decisions. And now for something completely different. Growth hacking and politics. Impossible, right? In case you haven't heard, Emmanuel Macron was just recently voted in as the youngest ever president of the world's 6th biggest economy, France. His party didn't even exist a year ago. The 39-year-old Frenchman and his team used a growth hacking process, tools and techniques like lead generation, lead magnets, conversion-centric design, freemium model, and bots to support his campaign and in the end win. And what this shows us is how growth hacking has matured. It's even made its way into the political sphere. Now back to tools. 30 shared Articoolo, which is one of my favorite tools for the past month. Articoolo writes AI-powered articles. All you have to do is insert a topic and wait for 2-3 minutes while your article is generated. We tested this and published about 10 articles on our blog so far as part of a bigger experiment. Now you'll have to do some editing here and there, and it doesn't cover every subject, but hey, if you're into content, this can save you centuries worth of time, and I believe it's the future of a long list of tools. Speaking about AI, MarTech Advisor just recently published an article saying that 50% of all marketing jobs will be replaced by machine intelligence. Scary, right? But that isn't totally true. What's interesting about this article is that it looks like which functions will be totally replaced and which functions will only partially be replaced. Bernardo, our data scientist, shared this article stating that there's already a very wide gap in technical competence within companies. Now, this gap is dramatically wider when it comes to data competence. I'm often asked which skills somebody should learn if they want to get into growth marketing or growth hacking. Learning these skills will give any marketeer a competitive advantage, so get on it now. Now let's take a look at one of our favorite playbooks that was shared over the past couple weeks. This was sent in by Quentin. Clearbit and Madkuku bring a whole new level to automation. You can now identify a company based on its IP address visiting your website, lead score it, and then use Clearbit's enrichment API to find the right people contact details inside that company to reach out. It's a bit expensive if you use these tools, but the outcome can be amazing and it's all fully automated. And once you actually need to write those emails, thanks to Thomas for sharing goodsalesemails.com to spy on competitors' successful email campaigns and maybe copy them, maybe be inspired by them. Oh, and by the way, if you're tired of salespeople always checking whether or not you open their email, yes, they're doing that, you might want to use this little gem. Install PixelBlock and make sure nobody can ever see how many times and even where you open their emails. If you're interested, read this great article by Bernardo where he explains why data is the new oil. It's creating a whole new economy and the raw material is data. We mentioned Drift a while back in our second episode, and to be honest, they're still absolutely kicking ass. Drift's Leadbot lets you funnel conversations to the right people on your team based on pre-written scripts. You step in when necessary and let the bot do the work before you. We're using it at the moment, we absolutely love it. You can also schedule meetings directly from Drift. Okay, onwards. I found this cool little tool that lets you calculate your monthly recurring revenue, or MRR. You can use it to simulate your predictable revenue stream. Are you totally overwhelmed by tools? So am I. You can check out this infographic that was shared by Ferdy with us last week. It gives you a great overview of the tools you should be using based on what you actually want to accomplish. Okay, now for a little bit more of hacky stuff. Matthew Clemenson from Hootoma shared a playbook on how he scraped the attendees of a big conference and found their email addresses. It's a step-by-step process and you can find it below in the description. A bit black hat, but it's pretty cool to see how he did this. Now let's do some more reading. Andrew Chen, and I love to read his content, he recently shared an email on his best articles, PDFs, and resources. We've zipped all his files and made a drive folder so you can access them. As usual, you can find a link below. If you're too lazy to read the whole thing, here's a cool little trick that I learned about. It's called plan reading versus linear reading. This graph summarizes it pretty well. Plan reading is basically making sure you know exactly what goals you have before jumping into a book and what insights you want before you get started with the actual reading. Give it a shot. And now let's do a little bit more reading. Thanks to Ines for sharing this article about how long it takes before you can achieve good ranking on Google. It turns out that only 22% of pages that currently rank in the top 10 were created less than a year ago. That means that 78% of all pages that rank in the top 10 were created more than a year ago. Clearbit from fitchannel.com shared this tool with us. It's a tool that helps you track and compare performance of advertising across all channels and across all devices, something that we struggle with every single day. Now this week we're not sharing a book, but we wanted to keep the best for last. Stanford Startup School is once again sharing amazing free content, free videos of their lectures, and we really recommend watching these. Thanks to Jim for sharing this. He recommended a particular one where the VP of Growth of Facebook talks about the importance of retention. I would recommend to watch the whole series. Okay, thanks a lot for listening. This is actually the 4th episode we do. We'd really appreciate some feedback. If you could leave your feedback, your suggestions, what can be done better in the comments below, we'd be eternally grateful. And we hope to see you soon. Please like and comment in the section below. Bye.